John Rambo, by the looks of things, has yet to finish his journey toward finding his peace, and what other way to achieve that other than through yet another movie, something that has been rumored as of late, and seeing all the wild theories out there regarding the movie itself, I don't think anyone is prepared for what's coming. And without further ado, let's dive right in. The Rambo franchise has proven to be a huge success even to this day, and Sylvester Stallone's portrayal of the title character has been nothing less than played out to perfection. And I'm saying this because if you recall, the first movie released way back in 1982, which brought to us a franchise that spans for 40 years. The first movie did not skimp on the action, with the movie itself functioning as a psychological thriller and the outsider, in this case John Rambo, being hunted down for no greater crime than a simple vagrancy. The second installment of the franchise established Rambo as a one-man army, a credit that not many other characters in the action movie genre can say have achieved, who single-handedly turned the tides of war in Vietnam, while also rescuing a group of American soldiers that were held captive. The third movie shifted the setting and placed Rambo in Afghanistan, along with a task given to rescue his friend and mentor, Colonel Sam Troutman, and although the movie earned more money than its predecessor, Stallone decided to take a break from all the action, which was the reason why the fourth movie of the franchise arrived around 2 decades later in 2008, an ultra-violent follow-up movie that saw Rambo accompanying a squad of mercenaries into Myanmar, who was tasked to rescue yet another group of mercenaries that got captured.
We did it, John.
Yeah. Wait.
And last but not the least, we got the latest movie of the franchise, the fifth installment titled Rambo Last Blood, in which the aging Rambo simply enjoys his peace on his late father's ranch in Arizona. However, a certain chain of events eventually brings him back into the battlefield as he goes on a solo mission to Mexico in order to rescue his friend's daughter from human traffickers. The title of the movie itself seems like finality for the character, but seeing how the events of the movie unfolded and Rambo still alive at the end of it all, I think that there's still more to be seen from Rambo. With Stallone's character still not satisfied with the peace he has gotten after everything was done and dusted, which I think is a good enough reason for Rambo to continue his quest of being entirely free from his past, something that he desperately desires, but also something that will be a hard thing for him to accomplish when his past is taken into consideration. After the movie was released, many people thought that the franchise was finished. However, recent rumors suggest that there might be something else that is cooking behind the scenes, yet another installment of the franchise. And before I move forward with this video, I should tell you that nothing has been confirmed regarding a Rambo sequel or prequel, so you should take it with a grain of salt, which is why I'm here today, to tell you all about the possible project at hand and everything that could occur if a movie of the sort gets released. But prepare, there are some things that you are not ready for at all. The first thing that comes to mind after doing some research is the scrapped ending of the first movie, Rambo First Blood. If something like a Rambo 6 movie ever sees the light of day, the movie will probably have to hit that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in reality the movie will probably utilize the ending that Morrell's novel and early drafts of the original movie gave to their tragic protagonist, a movie that could potentially end with Rambo's death shot in the head specifically by the hand of Troutman. And although this sudden death would not work nowadays, especially after the brutality of the last movies and the fact that Troutman would be long dead by now, but a potential movie could play with the notion of getting Rambo killed, thus finally ending the franchise on a high note. Despite not many of you ready for all of it to be played out on the big screen, a movie of this kind would have a poetic, reflective tone while also providing an adequate closure to the character. And even though the entire project would look like a whole different franchise, it's a sequel that would be the best one to pull off, seeing where the things have headed in the last movie. One other controversial concept for a potential movie would be the monster concept, but make Rambo a monster in his own right, with a theory at hand stemming from David Morrell's novel where Rambo is deeply traumatized by his war experiences and him not being able to switch off his killer instinct and someone to be there to stop him in his tracks, the only solution for a person of his caliber. This goes along very well with Stallone's description of Rambo, who said that he's always been a reflection of Frankenstein's monster, a narrative that would fit perfectly right now after the events of Rambo Last Blood, who on one hand is the perfect soldier but also hates killing.
This is what it feels like.
Following the events of the latest movie, the authorities could potentially see him as a violent sociopath that needs to be stopped, hence a major manhunt is launched against him, with the movie itself showcasing a commitment on his side to the darkness and see the character willing to kill his pursuers. This would definitely turn Rambo into something of a villain, something Stallone may not be on board with, which would coincidentally shift the focus of the movie on the aforementioned perfect soldier narrative and bring the entire film series to its roots. Get ready, as you might be hearing this for the first time here, something you might have never thought of. What if I tell you that for a Rambo 6 movie, there's also the idea for the movie to introduce his brother? Yeah, Rambo has a brother. But not only that, the franchise to also cast an actor into the role, yet another great addition for the franchise itself, that is if Stallone smashes that subscribe button and rings that notification bell. However, on the more serious side, what I wanted to say that would be if Stallone decides to go on that route, and honestly, I don't see why not, right? And while the concept is a little too large scale for a potential upcoming movie, bringing in Rambo's brother as a sheriff no less, an idea that was planned for the Rambo 4 movie in the 1990s, the story could prove to be a far more emotional sequel, something that none of the previous movies explored so far. This would be a huge change as the movie will explore Rambo's family history, with both his parents having died before he returned to America following Part 4. It would also make sense for the sheriff, who would likely be estranged given that no mention was made of him in Rambo Last Blood, to pursue his brother following the absolute bloodbath he left in their father's old farm. As for which actor would portray the role if it comes to that, well, there have been some suggestions. However, the perfect choice for many right now is Dave Bautista's, which is fine by me as well, because the two have already worked on several occasions together, including the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie, as well as the Escape Plan sequel. Bautista himself has evolved into a dramatic actor in the last several years too, so a movie where the two actors spar could make for an exciting and emotional final chapter for John Rambo. Whatever the case may be, there are a whole lot of theories and ideas for a potential 6th installment of the franchise, one that none of us is ready for, especially judging by how interesting, while also spectacular the options for how the movie could look like are, something I personally am not prepared at all, especially if something of that caliber happens, and is supposedly the last thing we'll be seeing from Rambo himself, a legendary character in the movie industry for quite a while now. See you in the next video.